It ain't but 24 hours in a day. You cannot be sleep 8 hours a day. You can't live in LA and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. The stock market been open 2 hours. They already making decisions about your life and your ass was asleep.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing at a park bench. It can mean jail. It can mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, or how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds, and it will be better than anything you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There's no other feeling like that. You'll be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.
If you start trading
All right, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and start. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Time to get in these markets. We're gonna start with the 30. It's pulling back down. It looks like. So we got the weekly high as 45,848.4. The weekly low 45,482.2. Okay. The weekly high 45,848.4. The weekly low 45,842.2. Given a midweek resistance of 45,665.3. You may have the 30 pull back. Looking at this, the way it's rejecting the resistance here on a daily. We got it pulling down. So we're gonna go ahead first and mark up the 9. So the monthly high. The monthly high change. So we got the monthly high, the new monthly high as 24,138.54. Because it made a new high on The 30 and NAS is going opposite direction. So the monthly high for NAS, the new monthly high is 24,138.54. The monthly low, 22,677. Given a mid-month resistance, a mid-month support for 23,407.77. The weekly high is right under the monthly high. $24,115.23. The weekly low is 23,673.37. So we got 24,115.23. The low 23,673.37. Given a midweek of 23,894.30. Okay. See, Nas is probably going to retrace that high, but Nas is literally going in the opposite direction of the US30. The US30 is breaking down, and the Nas is going. It's been going up. Right. I expect Nas trend to continue. Yeah. Nas is still trending up. It's likely gonna come past that high. Look at the golden lady. At the high for gold at 36.46.55. The low at 35.35.37. $36.46.55. 35.37 for the low. Given a midweek. The midweek level of support is 35.90.96. Gold has been in a bit of a consolidation. You can see right here. You see this consolidation right here? Right here is the consolidation that we see. And that was like over the course of a few days. 1, 2, 3, 4. After it made a new high, it consolidated for the rest of the week and didn't really make no movement. So we need a break above or break below the consolidation for gold. Right now, it is resistance. It is rejection from the resistance, but we need a clear break. There's no clear indication of which way gold is moving right now because we have this consolidation. It hasn't broke below 620, and the high is the monthly high is 36.74, and the low of the consolidation is 36.14. So we like need a break below or above, okay, for gold. I'm looking for it to continue up because we didn't have no indication that it's gonna sell off. We have the consolidation, which is basically accumulation, and it has been making higher highs until we got to last week where it just went sideways, and it hasn't broke below the midweek. So I'm still looking for buys. So I'm looking for buys, but I'm looking for it to break below the consolidation before it buys and reject off this midweek area. But I will get that indication more clearly during London session. You'll get to see more closer towards London. You'll see which direction is moving for gold. So we got the weekly high on the DXY as 97.833. The weekly low 97.607. Now, if the DXY is selling, I'm anticipating gold to buy. So that's why we mark up the DXY. So we can see which way gold is moving. Anticipation for gold. And this is anticipating the sell. So I'm definitely looking for gold to continue buying. Come on. 97.833. And 97.607 for the low. Given the midweek resistance 97.720. And it is below the midweek. It has been consolidating too. As you can see, it ain't really make no significant highs or lows. But it is below the midweek, so I'm looking for it to come down and retrace that monthly low down here. And that's also an order block. So gold may sell sometime during the week, but it's going to buy first, especially if this drop off. It's under the midweek. And it didn't retrace this yet. We didn't get a retracement of the low. And that's a 4-hour daily and a daily order block. So when the DXY does that, we'll be looking for gold to be buying and likely retrace the high. I found that Bitcoin be making its move on a Sunday. Like
It was moving this weekend, that's
I
for sure.
is he making a move? Like Sunday come and Bitcoin make this move. Like I was looking at the charts yesterday and I was noticing that the on a Sunday, if you go back and you mark just the Sunday, if you mark just the Sunday candle, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, okay. You see these moves that Bitcoin be making on Sunday, it's like indication before what it's gonna do for the next week. You gotta, especially if Bitcoin is something that you trade daily, you gotta start looking at the patterns for Bitcoin, and also know that Bitcoin is not going back to a certain low. Like just it's something that continuously went up for a year. Since 2022, we have been on an uptrend of Bitcoin. So know when it's selling that it's a pullback. We got the weekly high for Bitcoin 115, 332.81. We got the low 112.616.86. The high 115.332.81. The low 112.616.86. Got the midweek at 113.974.84. The pullback on Bitcoin right here on the daily is gonna likely pull back into a box. I don't anticipate that it's gonna break that low. That midweek support is rejecting right now from the resistance, but it hasn't broke the support. No, we also got consolidation on Bitcoin right here. It hasn't come and retraced that high yet. And it's just, this is order accumulation. Consolidation is them just deciding which way the market is going to go. They're accumulating orders to say which way the market is going to go. No clear indication right now, because this is consolidation on a higher time frame. Lower time frame too, even on an hour. So that's consolidation. And we don't trade, I don't trade consolidation. This is nowhere. It's literally like not going nowhere. Got it within an order block here. The sell order block. That's probably why we got this accumulation right here. The sellers just trying to move in, but we got a 4-hour order block right here. And coming to this and sell this store right here too. But it broke above, which tells me that this is going to continue up. I want a clear indication though of the buy continuation before we get in for a buy. Right now, it's showing a sell, but that sell is likely a pullback. But if we do a pullback, this is where we're looking for it to take the buy at. Right at the support. If we do a pullback that far, but right now it's just going in between these two price points. Not even that big, like, yeah. So we need a break below or a break above the consolidation to give us an indication of which way Bitcoin is going to be moving. And so it's still anticipating buys because the high is just stuck right there within this consolidation. So they're not anticipating it. So one more thing is double line. What happened is I marked up in my phone and then it like double marked. It looks like. Did it make a new monthly high? It did. The new monthly high for PJ is 200.481. Or 81. 197. Hey Jazz.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
140. I got the midweek support at 198.811. The mid-month. All right, not midweek. The weekly high 200.411. The weekly low, 199.267. The high of the week, 200.411. The low, 199.267. Giving a midweek support of 199.839. And GJ is still buying. And you're looking to take the bottom, GJ, at the level of support here. And look at the trend. Entry for GJ. I'm going to take an entry right around there. That's what I'm looking at enter for GJ. DJ, I enter NGJ around New York in New York session. No, no. Mhm. So with the New York session, I'll be looking to take a buy on GJ from here. You approach your stop loss underneath the support. Big profit one will be the weekly high. TP2 will be the monthly high. For GJ. I'm anticipating the US30 to continue selling because we got this candle here, this lower high here on a daily, and it looked like it's changing direction right there, like it's breaking the trend right there. It's what's breaking the trend. No. I'm anticipating for it to break the trend and to continue to sell below there. That doji candle that we got opened up. So we got the 30 anticipating to sell like it's breaking the trend. That doji candle there. And we got the order block here. I'm saying it myself, it likely will sell down to the midweek. But the break below the midweek would give us the confirmation that the sell is going to continue. But it sure enough is resisting its resistance area right here. It's like strong resistance there. It just gave us a new high for the week. We got another hour candle opening up in like 10 minutes. I expect the pullback to come down here though to that 65 area. And for Nas, I'm anticipating that the buy is going to continue on Nas. Anticipating the buy to continue for Nas. So a New York session. About that area for buy for Nas. Expect the buy to continue. You're looking for gold to break out this consolidation and Bitcoin as well to break the consolidation. So y'all pretty much got your entries for this week, well, for tomorrow. But I want y'all to work on trading is mental. Trading is mostly a mental game. Okay. So if you going in a trade and you gotta second guess yourself, it's likely a trade that you probably not gonna take, that you probably shouldn't be taking. If you looking at it and you gotta do too much guessing, you're not gonna be confident in taking the trade. So before you take the trade, okay, if you question the purpose of you doing the same thing and practicing the same strategy over and over and consistently practicing the same thing, the sole purpose of that is so that you can gain confidence and easily see the moves that's happening. So you're not second guessing yourself when you're going into the trade. Because if you gotta second guess yourself, it's gonna mess with your confidence. Okay? If you're if you're doing a move that you normally see on a chart, then you don't gotta second guess yourself. Okay? We know it buys above the support and it sells below this. Buy above, sell below. It's simple. If you overcomplicate it and like it'll mess with your confidence. If you try to overcomplicate what it's doing or second guess or gotta determine whether or not you should take the trade, if you're second guessing yourself, you probably shouldn't be in the market. My apologies. But as I was saying, if y'all gotta question yourself going inside the trade, then it's probably a trade that you shouldn't be taking. Okay? The whole purpose of you practicing the same thing over and over and you doing the same thing over and over is so that you can do it without even thinking. When you go to flip on a light switch, you know the light gonna come on. When somebody calls you by your name, you know your name. Okay, you gotta stand in knowing what's gonna happen. You gotta be so certain that you like, oh, I know this move is gonna happen. Okay, move with a level of certainty that I know this move is gonna happen. Okay, I dotted all my lines, I crossed all my T's. I know this move is gonna happen. And have the patience enough for it to play out. Okay, the whole purpose for you practicing the same thing is so that you can continue to see your result. If you switch up how you do things, if you're nervous about it, any level of nervousness goes into your trade because you're not going to be able to have the patience. If you're nervous and you're taking the trade, you're not going to be having enough patience to have the trade play out. You're either gonna exit too early, or when it pulls back, or when it does something, you're gonna second guess what you did. Okay, so do your proper assessments. We know if it's above the line, if it's above the level of support, we're looking for buys. If it's below that, we're looking for sells. Okay, we take our entries at the trend line. The trend line is there, so to know that you're taking entries according to the trend. It's aligning with the trend, so that it makes sense which way we're taking the trade. So when you're looking at the trade and you got to guess, you shouldn't use. If you got to guess, then you already failed before you even enter. If you got to second guess what you're doing when you go into the chart, then you already failed. You shouldn't have to second guess. It aligns with my trend. It's above this line. It's simple. It's made simple so that you don't have to go and look and go back and do a whole bunch of stuff on the chart. There's enough to do to be able to look. I'm gonna go ahead and enter here, set my private. I'm not over risking so much that I gotta sit here and be in agonizing pain of thought to know what's gonna happen, if it's gonna play out or not, or if it's gonna work in my favor. If you following your plan and if you're doing the trade according to the strategy, then you should not be second guessing. It's designed so that you don't have to second guess yourself. It literally plays out almost mechanically. I've been doing the same strategy for 2 years, and I watched this thing play out mechanically over and over and over and over again. So I'm telling you that you don't have to second guess yourself. You follow you trade according to the trend. Above the line, buys. Below the line, sells. If it's on the line, wait for a clear break before you take the trade. If you expecting a trend, if you seeing a trend break, it should be breaking on a higher time frame. If I'm look like right now, we seeing a US30 looking like it's breaking trend. We already see it moving down on a higher time frame. We're anticipating it to break below that trend line on this time frame. We were expecting it to keep resisting the level of resistance. We don't have to guess. Once it breaks this trend line on a higher time frame, we know that it broke the daily trend of the market. Okay? So you shouldn't be second guessing yourself. You should not be second guessing yourself. If you gotta second guess yourself, you shouldn't take the trade. If you second guessing whether or not you should be entering that trade, you shouldn't be taking it. Period. Okay? Meditation works wonders. Meditation works wonders. Okay? Even if you give yourself 5-10 minutes to close your eyes, relax your mind, and still your mind so that you're not all over the place. So that your mind is not everywhere. Sit still, meditate 15 minutes. Give yourself 10 or 15 minutes before you enter to calm your mind. You have like 8,000 thoughts a day. Okay, if you're in the trade and you got 8,000, 10,000 thoughts going through your head at one time, you're not going to be able to focus. Sit still. You are in control of you. Sit still, calm your mind, relax before you enter the trade. It's not going to go nowhere. Give yourself a few minutes before you even look at the chart, before you even look at anything, to meditate and calm your mind so that your mind is not everywhere. Okay, trading is 10% skill and 90% mental. That means you got to work on the mental. Once you got the skill, you got to work on your mental. Period. You can't get around that, the mental aspect of trading. You can't get around that. It's no going around that. It's you against you when you on the chart. Okay, so you got to calm your mind enough to be able to trade. It's you against you. Watch some psychology videos. Be mindful of what you're watching and consuming on a daily basis. Okay, because that's gonna go into your chart. It's gonna go into your trading. Make sure your mind is still and you're calm and relaxed when you're going to trading. All right, y'all. So y'all got the markets for the week. We're gonna go ahead and get this money. Be mindful when you're trading. Okay.